Hi, I'm Demi. At 58, I've always prided myself on giving my kids space to live their own lives. That's why when my son Jason stopped returning my calls for 3 weeks straight, I tried not to panic. But a mother knows when something's wrong. I decided to surprise him at his house across town. The drive felt longer than usual, my mind racing with possibilities. When I pulled up to his neighborhood, I noticed his lawn looked unkempt, so unlike him. I knocked on the door, waiting for a response that never came. His next-door neighbor, Mrs. Parker, was watering her flowers and noticed me standing there. "You looking for Jason and Vanessa?" "Yes. Have you seen them recently?" She shook her head. "Haven't seen Jason in weeks, which is strange because he usually helps me with my groceries. Vanessa's car comes and goes at odd hours, though." "That's weird. Jason always calls me back, even when he's busy. If you find him, tell him we miss seeing him around." I tried calling Jason again, straight to voicemail. I even called Vanessa, but she didn't pick up either. Something was definitely wrong. I started calling local hospitals, my hands shaking as I dialed each number. "Memorial Hospital, how may I direct your call?" "I'm looking for my son, Jason Miller. I can't reach him and I'm worried." There was a pause. "Yes, we have a patient by that name. He was admitted 4 days ago." My heart dropped. 4 days? Why wasn't I notified? "I can't share details over the phone, but you should come in." I drove like a mad woman to the hospital. The nurse at the front desk directed me to room 307. Nothing prepared me for what I saw when I walked in. Jason was unconscious, hooked up to multiple machines, his face gaunt and pale. "Oh my God, what happened to my baby?" I rushed to his side, grabbing his hand. It felt so thin. A nurse named Beth came in to check his vitals. "Are you his mother?" "Yes." "Where's his wife? Where's Vanessa?" Beth hesitated. "She brought him in 4 days ago and hasn't been back since. We've been trying to reach her." "What? That can't be right. What's wrong with him?" "Let me get Dr. Reynolds to speak with you." Dr. Reynolds arrived moments later, clipboard in hand. "Mrs. Miller, your son has a severe kidney infection that progressed to sepsis. Based on his condition when admitted, he'd been sick for quite some time without proper medical attention." "How could this happen? Vanessa should have brought him in sooner." The infection was preventable with basic antibiotics. By the time he arrived, he was severely dehydrated and malnourished. While sitting beside Jason, I checked social media on my phone. There was Vanessa, tagged in photos from last night at some club, drink in hand, another man's arm around her waist, and posts from the previous nights too, all while my son lay here fighting for his life. My hands trembled with rage. This wasn't just neglect. This was cruelty. I looked at my son's face, so vulnerable and sick, and made a silent promise. "I'm going to make this right, Jason, and Vanessa is going to pay for what she's done to you." I couldn't leave Jason's side. I called my daughter right away. "Carly, it's Mom. You need to come to Memorial Hospital right now. It's your brother." "What happened? Is Jason okay?" "No, he's not. He's really sick and that wife of his is nowhere to be found." "I'm on my way. Give me 20 minutes. While waiting for Carly, I cornered Beth, the nurse who seemed most involved with Jason's care. "Has this happened before? Vanessa dropping him off and disappearing?" Beth glanced around to make sure no one was listening. "This is the 3rd time he's been admitted in 4 months. Each time she leaves him here and barely checks in. Last time she didn't even help with discharge." 3 times? Why didn't anyone call me?" "He's an adult, and she's listed as his emergency contact. But between us, several staff members have documented concerns." Carly arrived out of breath and eyes wide when she saw her brother. "Holy shit, Mom! What happened to him?" "Your sister-in-law happened. She dropped him off days ago and hasn't been back. Been too busy partying." Dr. Reynolds entered, checking Jason's vitals. "Dr. Reynolds, can we talk privately?" I asked. In the hallway, he lowered his voice. "Mrs. Miller, I've been Jason's doctor for these recent admissions. The pattern is concerning. He arrives severely dehydrated, malnourished, and with infections that should have been treated weeks earlier. You think Vanessa is neglecting him on purpose?" "I can't make accusations, but his prescriptions aren't being filled regularly." He should be taking daily medication for his kidney condition, but his blood work shows irregular dosing. Carly and I spent the afternoon calling Jason's friends. His buddy Kevin hadn't seen him in months. Vanessa kept saying he was too sick for visitors. I tried Man, but she blocked me on everything when I kept asking questions. After several calls, we got Tim, Jason's college roommate, to meet us at the hospital cafeteria. Vanessa has been weird for months. Jason stopped coming to our weekly basketball games. When I went by their house, she said he was sleeping, but I heard him calling from upstairs. She wouldn't let me up. Did Jason seem off the last time you saw him? Carly asked. Yeah, skinny as hell. Said Vanessa was handling their finances because he was too sick to work. Next thing I hear, they're selling his car and moving money around. That triggered something. I called Jason's bank, pretending to be helping with his accounts while he was sick. The customer service rep confirmed unusual activity, large transfers to an account I didn't recognize. Mom, we need to check his online banking, Carly suggested. Using his old password, thankfully unchanged, we discovered Vanessa had drained nearly $50,000 from their joint accounts in the past 3 months. Around sunset, Jason stirred, his eyes fluttering open. Mom? What are you doing here? Taking care of you, baby. Where's Vanessa? His face darkened. Probably with her friends. She gets mad when I'm sick. Mad how? Says I'm faking for attention, hides my pills sometimes, says they're too expensive. The pills you need to live, Jason? He nodded weakly. Last month, I couldn't find them for a week. When I got really sick, she said I was being dramatic. I was seething. I'm calling your father. Marcus and I had been divorced for 15 years, but he answered on the first ring. I'll be on the next flight. Text me everything you've found. Just as we finished updating Marcus, the door swung open. Vanessa strutted in, designer purse on her arm, not a hint of concern on her face. What's this? A family reunion? Nobody told me. Where the hell have you been? I stepped toward her. Running errands. Not that it's your business. Why are you all here? Jason just needs rest. Rest? He nearly died from an infection you ignored. Don't be dramatic. He gets sick all the time. The doctors always fix him up. Carly stepped between us. You haven't been here in 4 days, Vanessa. We know everything. Vanessa's fake smile faltered slightly. Know what? That I've been taking care of your brother 24/7 for months while you've all been MIA? I needed one night out. One night? We've seen your social media. You've been partying every night while draining his bank accounts. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. You've been snooping through our finances? That's illegal. So is medical neglect, I fired back, my blood boiling. Vanessa's eyes suddenly welled up with tears. You have no idea how hard this has been for me. Jason's always sick, always needing something. I'm just one person. I almost laughed at her performance. Carly shot me a warning glance, and I remembered our play along. It must be difficult, Carly said, her voice softer. Maybe we can help more. Vanessa dabbed at her dry eyes. I'd appreciate that. I'm just so exhausted. After Vanessa left to get some rest, Jason spoke up. She does this every time someone questions her. Last month, when I couldn't find my medication, I accused her of hiding it. She cried for hours, saying I thought she was a monster until I apologized to her. How long has this been happening? I asked. It started small. She'd forget to pick up prescriptions. Then she took over the finances because I was too sick to think clearly. Soon, I couldn't access my own accounts. When I questioned her, she'd say I was paranoid from the medication. Marcus arrived the next morning looking like he hadn't slept. He hugged Jason for a long time before turning to me. I've got something. My buddy at the bank pulled some strings. Vanessa opened a separate account 6 months ago. She's transferred over $70,000 into it. That's not all, Carly added. I found her dating profile. It's active, as in, she was messaging guys yesterday. Jason looked devastated. She told me I was imagining things when I found texts on her phone. Marcus squeezed his shoulder. My investigator friend found something else. Vanessa was married before. to a guy with a chronic illness. His family accused her of similar behavior, but dropped it after they divorced. She's done this before? How did you find that out? Court records. The family filed for a restraining order but settled privately. Dr. Reynolds entered with news that changed everything. Jason, we're considering transferring you to University Hospital for specialized treatment. This wasn't true. We'd arranged it as part of our plan. Vanessa showed up an hour later after Carly called her. Transfer? That's across town. Who's going to drive me there every day? We've scheduled a family meeting to discuss care options, I explained. Everyone will be there, even your friend Tiffany. Tiffany? Why would she be there? She's your closest friend. We thought you'd want support. Vanessa looked nervous. I'll talk to her. What Vanessa didn't know was that Carly had already spoken with Tiffany, showing her the evidence of neglect. Tiffany had been horrified, especially when Carly mentioned Jason's life-threatening condition. The next day, we gathered in the hospital conference room. Vanessa arrived looking confident until she saw Tiffany's face. Before we discuss the transfer, Marcus began, we want to address some concerns. What concerns? Vanessa flipped her hair. Jason's getting better. I placed a recorder on the table. We're documenting this conversation for Jason's protection. Tiffany pulled out her phone. Vanessa, they showed me everything. The bank records, the dating profiles, the medical reports, and I have our texts. What texts? Vanessa snapped. The ones where you said, and I quote, I can't wait until this is over. Once Jason's insurance policy pays out, I'm moving to Miami. Vanessa's face drained of color. Those were jokes. Tiffany, you know I was just venting. Marcus slid forward documentation of the life insurance policy Vanessa had taken out on Jason 3 months earlier. Just venting about the $500,000 policy you control? Vanessa stood up. This is ridiculous. You're all ganging up on me when I've been nothing but devoted. The hospital security cameras show you visited for 7 minutes on Tuesday, I said, while your Instagram showed you at a beach club. You can't prove anything. Jason won't press charges against me. He loves me. Jason spoke from the doorway where a nurse had wheeled him in. Actually, I already have. Vanessa staggered backward like she'd been slapped. You can't be serious, Jason. I'm your wife. Not for long, Jason replied, his voice stronger than I'd heard in months. The police have everything. The bank records, medical reports, and witness statements. 2 officers entered the room behind Jason's wheelchair. Vanessa Miller, we need you to come with us for questioning regarding allegations of financial exploitation and medical neglect. This is insane. You can't prove anything. Vanessa looked around wildly. I demand to speak to my lawyer. By all means, Marcus said. You'll need one. The following weeks were a whirlwind. Jason moved into my guest room while recovering. His color returned as he took his medication properly. The protection order kept Vanessa away, though she bombarded him with messages. She's texting me again. Jason showed me his phone one morning. Says she's being framed and only she knows how to take care of me. Classic manipulation. How are you feeling about the divorce filing? Relieved. The lawyer says with the evidence we have, it'll be quick. Carly burst in, waving her tablet. Guys, Vanessa's been fired. My friend at her company said they received copies of the police report and terminated her immediately. The district attorney called us in for a meeting about the case. We've reviewed the evidence. The financial fraud alone carries significant penalties, but the medical neglect charges are what concern us most. Will she go to jail? I asked. Based on the medical records showing deliberate withholding of life-saving medication and the texts suggesting she was waiting for an insurance payout, absolutely. The divorce proceedings revealed even more. Vanessa had a storage unit filled with Jason's missing possessions, family heirlooms she claimed were lost, his medication, even his father's watch. Marcus organized the best medical team for Jason's follow-up care. The nephrologist says with proper treatment, you'll make a full recovery. No permanent damage. 6 weeks after that first hospital visit, Vanessa showed up at my doorstep, mascara streaked and desperate. Please let me talk to him. I've lost everything. My job, my friends. People cross the street when they see me coming. Good. Actions have consequences. I was sick too, mentally. I need help, not punishment. I'll go to therapy. Please tell Jason I'm sorry. Sorry you got caught, you mean? You've had multiple chances to come clean. Jason doesn't want to see you. You don't understand how hard it was. Get off my property before I call the police. Again. The court date arrived. Vanessa pleaded guilty to reduced charges, still facing 3 years in prison and restitution payments. As we left the courthouse, Jason stood tall, no longer the frail man I'd found in that hospital bed. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm grateful for your surprise visit, Mom. That's what family does, sweetheart. We show up. 2 months later, we celebrated Jason's complete recovery with a family barbecue. Marcus manned the grill while Carly and her kids played soccer with Jason in the backyard. He's looking good, Marcus said, handing me a drink. Strong again. He is. Did you hear Vanessa's parents finally returned his inheritance money she borrowed? Best news I've heard all week. They're as horrified as we are. Jason jogged over, flushed and healthy. What are you two conspiring about? Your future, I smiled. It's looking pretty bright from where I stand. Thanks to you guys. I don't know if I would have made it otherwise. That's behind us now. Marcus clapped his shoulder. Vanessa's paying for what she did and you've got your life back. Better than back, Jason said. I've got my family. Turns out that's all I needed all along. What would you have done if you discovered someone was deliberately withholding medication from your child? Would you have pursued maximum legal penalties like Demi did? Or do you believe some people deserve a second chance even after such a betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of justice served, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories that show toxic people finally facing consequences for their actions. New stories every day.